Australia's first Indian magazine to have a national reach, Indus Age is the largest circulated South Asian magazine in Australia with 5 simultaneous editions, 55,000 copies printed monthly, 220,000 readers, largest network of clients, undisputed leader in community news. Indus Age is circulated in Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Brisbane and Perth to over 525 outlets. Grab your copy now to get the latest on the community, news from India, Bollywood, music and much more. For more info, log on to www.indusage.com.au.
Hello everyone, I am Karishma and welcome to In This Age. We're here at the Jaipur Literature Festival 2019 in Adelaide and I'm sitting with one of our finest actresses in Bollywood and a royal from Nepal, Manisha Koirala. Her major health crisis made her go off films for a long while, but she fought back like a royal tigress and returned to Indian cinema with movies like Dear Maya and Sanju, and has also written a book called Healed, How Cancer Gave Me a New Life. Thank you for coming here, Manisha.
Thank you, Karishma, for having me. May I correct you one? I'm not royal. I'm just a simple girl from a middle-class family.
All right. So, let's start off with Manisha as a little girl. How was she in school and at home?
Well, a bit of that I've written on my book, Healed. But I was raised by my grandmother, Dadi. And I guess I grew up in a joint family. And so it was a lot of people, a lot of noises, and a lot of togetherness, and a lot of drama, obviously.
Yeah, joint families.
And I was into sports. I used to play basketball, and I used to sometimes bunk my school to go and play basketball. I actually have enjoyed every aspect of my life, and obviously, like everybody else says, my childhood also is filled with good memories and happy memories.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And when did you realize that you wanted to be an actress, or I heard you wanted to be a doctor, actually?
You know, I never dreamt that I could be famous, or I could be a famous actress for that matter. In my family, there are doctors, engineers, or politicians. And so I wasn't sure that I'll be anything other than my family, whatever. So, but I think I loved theater, I loved acting, and in school when I used to do weird roles, I have some really funny pictures of those days. People used to like me, and once I remember I saw this movie called Masoom. I was, I don't know which standard I was in, maybe sixth standard, and I saw that movie, and I came home and I enacted that Lakdi ki kaathi kaathi pe, and I put my mom as my audience. I said, "Mom, I'm going to perform."
That's so cute.
So I did that. But I loved theater. I loved acting. I was trained to do Kathak and Bharatanatyam and Manipuri classical dances.
Okay.
Since age 3.
Okay.
So I guess in some weird ways, it sounds like it was meant to be.
Yeah, it was kind of in you, in a way. It was natural.
But I didn't know consciously
that it was
that
there.
I'll end up being a celebrity.
So how did it happen?
Well, see, it happened, my mom's cousin, he is a fashion photographer and ad filmmaker in Kathmandu. And he's also from Pune Institute, where he's friends with Jaya Bachchanji and all that. And one day he asked his wife to put makeup on me, and they just did some casual shots. And
I love that.
and then he said, "Oh, you're photogenic. Why don't you do an ad film? I'm shooting." I said, "What the heck? It's a pocket money, and I'll just one day's work."
How old were you then?
I was, I think I was in my 11th standard.
Wow.
So, 17, 16. And then that became kind of popular. And then very soon after that became popular, I was invited to do a Nepali film called Pheri Bhetaula. Again, I thought, it's my summer vacation, pocket money, I'll just do that. And you know, nobody from the family had objected to it, because
That's amazing.
it was just a everybody could watch me, and there was shooting, and the family, everybody was involved, so it was fine. And during Pheri Bhetaula, when I loved being in front of camera, I knew that I wanted to explore this area more. I didn't know whether I was going to be successful or not, whether life would give me that chance or not, but I just felt the pull from within.
Yeah.
And so I expressed that to my family, and that's the time all hell broke loose. And they said, no, you're not going to, Mumbai is so far away, and we don't know that city, we don't know anybody from that city. And so a lot of objection came, and luckily for me, my grandmother, she's the head of the family, and she was the head of the family that time, and she kind of supported me. And then I kind of emotionally blackmailed my mom on my birthday, 17th birthday, saying that my birthday gift is you have to take me to Mumbai and please give me 1 week. And for some strange reason, I felt 1 week was enough.
Yeah, 1 week. Wow, 1 week. Okay.
And well, that was that. And one thing led to another, and finally I ended up doing Sadagar. And
from that 1 week, your life changed pretty much.
Absolutely.
From that birthday gift.
That's it. Yes, it was my mom's gift. And,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, but then it was my cleverness that I got. I emotionally blackmailed. I was her daughter after all, because she does that to me, and I was.
You're like, now I'm getting what I want. And what was the mom's reaction after you got that film in a week?
Actually, no, it didn't happen in a week's time. It just, I started making contacts, and then I went back to Delhi. I think then one more time, there's a film journalist. She is a senior journalist in India now, and I think she's changed her profession recently. But she was the editor of Mumbai Times and Cineblitz and Filmfare and you name it. So she was a family friend, and she said, Subhaji is looking for new face, Manisha, why don't you? So mom and me and Meenadi, her name is Meenayer, mom and me again went to Mumbai, and Meenadi took us to meet Subhash Ghaiji, and there was Vivek Mushran and me doing the screen test, and that was that.
That was it. That's when it started.
Yeah.
Lovely. All right, so now we can move on a little bit to about your cancer and how you healed yourself. So it's probably the most difficult thing that one can experience in their life ever. What gave you the strength to do that, and how did you keep going?
Honestly speaking, and I'm being really honest here, is that all of us are cancer patient. We don't have any other option but to face it head on. And when people call me brave, and when people, give me that's just their love and their kindness. But we don't have an option. We have to take the treatments are really scary. The treatments, side effects are really scary, but we don't have an option. So we go through that and put our best foot forward with a lot of prayers and with a lot of this thing. I guess,
Do you think, exactly how you said, you have to put your best foot forward and try. How do you keep that hope up? How do you not say, okay, it's so easy to say, okay, now it's done, I'm gone. But what is that keeps you positive?
I give the credit to a great family support. And I really want to thank my mother, my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law. And there were twice, I think, I had doubts. And once the initial phase when I actually was sitting alone with my sister, and again, that is in the book. I was right after my diagnosis, when I reached home, I was sitting alone in my deck, and my sister-in-law came with green tea, and that's the time I said, you know, if this is my fate, I will accept it, and I will go peacefully. And she looked at me and she said, no, Didi, you know, you can't. You have to want to live with all your might. Otherwise, it's not going to work on you. You know, you have to fight, and you have to have faith, and you have to be like a warrior. And I really was surprised at her inner grit.
Yeah.
And I said, I never saw that aspect of hers.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm so blessed to have her.
Have
you
her
know,
around
so to give me that initial encouragement. And there was during my treatment, when it became too painful, it used to. There were days when it used to be excruciatingly painful. And those days when I would tell my mom, I said, Mom, I can't take it anymore. It's too painful. And that's when she would say, no, beta, we are here supporting you. And, you know, my mom used to wake up 3, 4 in the morning to make some food, you know, so that it's more nutritional. And for hours, she would be on the kitchen. And she said, we are making all this effort, everything, so that you fight it well and you become well. And you don't let our morals down. You have to fight back. You have to do it. And so I think, you know, my weak moments, I was surrounded with really strong and positive people and loving people. So
Keep your spirits high.
absolutely.
That's beautiful. How do you think cancer changed you as a person?
Well, a lot, you know. Sometimes, so much so that I don't recognize who was I before.
Really?
Because how could I be so ignorant? How could I go through that phase? But it really started showing me what was essential in life and what are not essential in life. So earlier on, I would, be fluffy and flitter flatter and hop, from one thing to another, but now I really have few things which I know is the most important thing. I have clarity on those, like health. I realize that if you don't have health, there's no point of having how much money, how much fame. So early, when I was young, I was workaholic. So I would work for 18 hours, 19 hours, non-stop, 3 film shoot, back to back. And in Mumbai's traffic. So like really lot of work. And I wouldn't care a damn about my health. Neither sleep, nor food, nor, and then either work hard or party hard. When you're young,
opposite.
I was a rebellious young girl who wanted to have the maximum of my time. But this taught me to balance it. It's not as if I don't enjoy life now, but I do things meticulously. I do things in small proportions, and I just told you, I finished 2 films. Earlier, I would have gone crazy. I would have done 7 films.
Wow.
I would have taken on whatever offer comes my way. I would, do as much as possible. Today, I don't want to do that. Today, I know 2 films is enough. Maximum, I would have added on in 1 more film, but not really. It's a lot of change, like health priorities, realizing being alive and healthy is such a huge gift from life. To be able to see the sunrise and sunsets and the clouds and the wind and things that we take it for granted.
That's true. That's
it's
very
such
true.
a beautiful, I think this life experience is really, really beautiful and amazing. And we take it for granted because it's available to us freely at every moment. So we don't really value it. It's only when you're dying and you know that you're losing all this, then you start looking at things minutely.
When it's taken away from you, then you're like, oh my God, I had this all.
And I was so ignorant.
I was running after something else.
Exactly.
That's so beautiful.
And many, many things. And in relationship, always chasing love. I don't need to chase love. If it's love which is meant to be, it will be there for me. I didn't need to change I don't need to change, and I don't need to chase.
Will
Both,
be for
you know. So I think lots have changed. We can talk endlessly.
outside of the camera. So, you've been doing a lot of films recently. How has acting changed for you before and after cancer?
I think, see, you know, Vinod Chopra. I did his movie. I mean, he was the producer of this movie, Sanju. And he was the first one to call me after he saw the rushes. And he said, Manisha, something has happened to you. And this cancer has actually made you more, there's a terav in your persona and your personality, which camera sees through now.
There's something in your eyes that I'm feeling. It's like fire. There's something really like limpid and strong in your eyes that I feel when I'm speaking to you, which is so beautiful. It's so clear.
It's nice. It's I feel great, and I feel blessed. Thank you for that comment, though. So I guess that's when I realized that when Vinod told me, you know, when somebody else sees your work and then gives you a feedback, you get the feel. Otherwise, you're constantly feeling in the same.
It's true. Yeah.
Halaki, you know that you've changed, and like for me, I started for every second on screen space that I get, I want to give 200% of me. But again, our work depends on the feedback of people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's how I got to know.
Beautiful. How's the industry changed before and now?
I think industry has always been really wonderful to me. You know, honestly, to come from a different country and to a very new city, and I used to get really awestruck, and all the glitter and glamour and larger than life and everything. And I was from Nepal and from Banaras and, you know, and Delhi for a few years. So for me, it was something really, I was awestruck.
Yeah.
But I got so much of acceptance, so much of love.
So much
and
love.
All the big filmmakers, whether it's Subhash Ghai, my second film was Love Letter. That time, it was not a hit film, but Kailash Rinlani production was the top. He was a top producer. And then after that, Feroz Khan Saab, again, that film didn't do well. Yalgar I did. Again, he was a top filmmaker.
Yeah.
So one after the other, then with Vinod Chopra, then I did Akele Hum Akele Tum with Amir Khan. So I, you know, one after the other, so much of confidence and so much of love, and I was embraced by the audience, by the fans. You know, I got so much of love from the film industry. I was always, I think, blessed in that
industry.
Yeah.
And how has the industry changed in terms of working, like the sets and the professionalism and all that? How's that?
Honestly, now it's such a pleasure to, you know, earlier on, our working style, our environment was very different. And today, the younger generation is completely different.
Yeah.
You know, today I feel the younger generation is slightly more on their toes.
Yeah.
And very professional, and always they're aiming to be perfect in each and I'm learning from them. I'm actually observing that how, you know, they are perfect dancers, they're perfect fighters, they're perfect in comedy, they're perfect in drama. And what's really nice is that today we make you know, substance which is of world standard. And it's no longer that we were years behind, whether it's technology, whether it's a director, whether a performance, it's all top notch.
World standard,
top notch. And, you know, so I really feel that Indian cinema has improved tremendously. And the younger generation is super talented and really hardworking and super focused of what they want, how they want, and what they should do and what they shouldn't do. our time was a lot more relaxed. we were allowed to do mistakes, and people were kinder. So I think, but here I see a lot more professionalism in the industry now. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
In one of your TEDx Jaipur talks, you spoke about the gifts of life. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, for me, it all. I don't know what I spoke there because I speak spontaneously.
Yeah.
And what I really enjoyed about realizing my second chance to life, and I really thought that I was losing it all. The gifts of life is, first of all, is our body. We need to be really thankful to have this, and we are constantly, at least I was, berating it, saying, oh, I need to lose weight. Of course, you want to make it perfect. And of course, you want to follow that. But at present, I feel one should be grateful for this.
Yeah.
I learned this of Maori healers who told me, that's another story. It's going to be long. So I'm not going to go there.
It sounds so exciting. I want to ask you about it.
They taught me to send loving energy to my ovaries. And that time I had no idea that my ovaries had cancer cells. And so during that I realized it's important to love your body, and be thankful for that.
Yeah.
Because through this we're going to experience the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So constantly trying to change and constantly trying to be, berating ourselves and saying, mote ho gaye.
Yeah.
We have this, we have this tendency to do that. I feel we need to appreciate what we have.
Yeah.
And then, this whole life experiences, whether it's your relationship with your parents, your spouse, your children, your friends, or your colleague, that human bond, this interaction is really important. And to send out that love and to understand, it's such a blessing to have them, because they were, I had this entourage of friends when and I didn't realize true friends are very few and rare, and one should really cherish them. So pick and be intelligent enough to know who's going to stand by you in a tough time, you know. And so that I realized the value that I would bring in a relationship. So that became really something to think about. My work, as I said, the nature, the sky, the tree, the animals, everything.
Just experiencing the beauty of life.
Exactly. There's so much.
Yeah.
So much. And for me, it was also art. For me, it was because I love cinema, and that's a form of a self-expression.
Yeah.
I feel it's so important for all of us to find one space, whether for you it's media and all this thing. For me, it's a cinema where I express, where I show my talent.
Yeah.
It's such a huge. I didn't know it was so important.
Yeah.
I realize today it's one of the most important thing is to be able to express yourself.
Yeah.
Through whatever medium you take.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. Your book has a key theme about forgiveness. So why forgiveness?
Well, forgiveness, if you harbor it, it becomes it could become a disease.
Okay.
And I feel forgiveness is important for ourselves.
Okay.
Because first you need to forgive yourself,
Yes, for whatever
it is, and admitting it and not be in a denial, and to accept, okay, this is something which has not really helped me to grow as a better person or grow in my work or whatever. So, and then, becoming slightly larger in heart to accept and forgive whoever has done things for you. And what I do now? It's not possible practically to forgive everything and everyone. So I may have a facade, but internally I'm forgiven. So I may still have, I'm angry and I'm upset, but I'm, inside.
That's a good tactic.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So you're not getting hurt.
You're not getting hurt, or actually you've forgiven the person.
Yeah.
You've forgiven the person, inside in your heart you made peace.
Yeah.
You know,
But then outside you'll.
yeah, yeah.
Lovely. I like that. I might start using that.
Yeah, do that. It works.
Okay, one of my last questions. So what is your advice for someone who has cancer?
Okay. It's really tough, you know, because there's no one single advice that I can give to people who have. But what I really want to say is that really put all your gears, all your armors, everything possible, whether it's educating yourself of the type of cancer that you have and who's the best doctor for the type of cancer that you have, and how to boost your immune system, what are the lifestyle that one should take on, what are the nutrition, and you do all that to armor yourself. Self-education is really important. And then really at the bottom of it all is have a strong will that no matter what, I'm gonna fight this. No matter how tough it gets, I want to, because I have this this thing that, you know, the stronger your will to fight and survive, you know, nature supports you there.
Yeah.
Nature really supports your strongest desires. So be really passionate about getting healthy and back to life. I feel that's really important.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thanks.
That's such a beautiful ending. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming here and talking to us. It was very inspirational.
Thank you, Karishma, for having me.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.